And these trout, man, holy smoke. Just got into another one. That is insane. A couple years back, I stumbled into a fly fishing technique that has changed my personality when I go out there on the water. And this technique is not a secret. It just hasn't been publicized as much as it should be. And if you're a subscriber to the channel or a viewer that has previously watched these other videos on Upstream Nymphing, this is going to be the video to watch because I'm going to share everything that I know about this technique and how to fly fish with it. Alright, let's get into it. Welcome back everybody. My name is Carson, and if you don't know me, I've been fly fishing for the past 10 plus years, including competitive fly fishing. So in this video, I'm going to go through the whole process on how I go upstream nymphing. From everything from setting up to my rod, my reel, my line, my leaders, and including my flies, and how to fly fish with this technique. Enough talking, let's get into how to use this upstream nymphing system. So if you don't know what upstream nymphing is or you're new to the technique, let me give you a brief definition. So the basic technique is a suspension device allowing the fly to naturally go through the stream. So this technique allows you to use different techniques and just quickly switch them out in case if one doesn't work. Either if you want to dry fly fish, nymph fish, streamer fish, or even wet fly fish, this technique does everything. And it all comes down to the setup and how you fly fish this technique. So the rod itself doesn't really matter, but preferably if you have between a 9-foot to a 10-foot rod is perfect, and the weight you want it to be in is between 3 to 4 weight. Now if you get more to those higher numbers in weights, that's when it starts to get a little sketchy and you start breaking off some tippet. This technique is more of a delicate technique for really sensitive waters when trout are most either fished, overfished, or the conditions are just difficult. So basically, I like to keep it in more of the sensitive side between 3 to 4 weight and between 9 to 10 feet long rods. So the rod itself is the very least on my priority list when using this technique. The most important is actually right here. Okay, it's not actually the reel, but it's actually the setup and the line and the leader. So basically, of course, get a reel that matches your rod and perfects it and well balanced. And the line that you want is weighted forward fly line. I like to have a delicate tapered leader or a tapered fly line at the tip of it, just in case if I have to dry fly fish. But other than that, you just need weighted forward fly line. Doesn't matter what fly line that you're using. Now, the most important part here is the indicator or the suspension device. So I got a lot of emails and questions and comments in regards to how do I connect the indicator to the fly line and what color do I have and what setup do I have for my suspension device. So 2 videos ago, I showed a brief outline of what I am using for the upstream nymphing technique. I briefly just said I spliced the fly line here to attach my indicator fly line. When I actually searched this up really quick to actually try to do this, there's not actually too much videos on it. So briefly to go over how I attached the indicator fly line to the main fly line on the reel is I basically sliced the 2 fly lines. So basically I sliced the middle of the indicator fly line and then I stripped the fly line of the original fly line and exposed the inner core. And what I basically did is that I got the core fly line inside of the main one and I tucked it into the sliced part of the indicator fly line. Now I could totally do a separate video for this. If you would like that, I could totally do that. Just leave it down in the comments below. So when I tucked the main thread inside the fly line of the actual fly line itself on the reel, then I tucked it inside the indicator fly line and I super glued it. And then I wrapped some thread around it and then did a second layer of super glue. Sounds crazy enough, but if you could do a DIY type of thing to attach 2 fly lines together, hey, if it works, it works. So past that, the main purpose of this suspension device is to indicate when fish are taking the fly. So I've seen a lot of videos, either very older videos on upstream nymphing and more previous. Basically, they either have the fly line itself like this, just a basic separate fly line, or even if you want to, on the original fly line itself, you can actually wrap some thread around it, some high vis thread, and you can make an indicator that way. Or you can just get some high vis orange Sharpie, and you can Sharpie that original fly line up also. But for me, I just attached this orange fly line. I made some Sharpie marks on it also to make it more visible. And for this indicator itself, it's about a foot long or even 15 inches long, and that's really about it. It doesn't have to be complicated. It just, you have to make sure that the indicator is visible to you when you're out there fly fishing. And then going from there, I spliced the indicator to the fly line, and there's actually some videos on that, and pretty simple. So when I attach the leader itself is about a foot long of 20 pound. And the end of that, I just made a simple loop knot. And that's really about it. The system does not have to be complicated. It just works all around. And then going from there, you can add whatever tippet that you prefer. I like to have 5X tippet mainly, but also too, if it's really sensitive, I like to go to 6X and 7X. All right, so that's the basic setup itself with the line, the leader, and just the indicator itself. Any questions at all, please leave it down in the comments below. But also too, I'll have a free PDF, just email me and I send it to you, and I'll basically show you a basic diagram of how I set up this system, and also I'll show you how to fly fish with it in that PDF, and some techniques along the way that I've learned over the years, but also some top flies. So besides that itself, that is the system of the line, the indicator, and the leader. So before going forward into flies, I'm going to share a little secret with you. There's a fly that I have discovered that works so well with Upstream Nymphing. I'm going to post it next week, Saturday, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. It's not really a secret, but it's not really out there in the open. So I'm excited to share with you that fly next week, but I'm going to keep that a secret for now. So basically, the flies I really love using with this technique, it's a Pat's rubber leg. So the Pat's rubber leg, it has so much movement and has so much live or vibration that goes through the water that I think that the fish are attracted to. So other flies that worked really well is any type of lead wrapped Chex nymphs. Any type of Chex nymph like a crest bug or anything else like that works really well also. But another fly selection that I have not seen in recent fly fishing videos in the fly fishing world is using wet flies. Like spiders or anything else like that. These are techniques that have just basically been dropped. Everything has just been dedicated to Euro nymphing and tight line nymphing. Now, I'm not saying that these techniques are terrible or you shouldn't be using them. I'm just saying, let's don't forget the things that have actually worked for so long and still work. So besides that itself, hopefully this got some more detail on what the setup is going to be if you're going to get on the water. This is my setup, and hopefully I've helped you get an idea what the setup should be. But at the end of the day, it's all up to you. What is most comfortable for you and what catches you more fish. So besides that, let's get on the water and let's catch ourselves some fish with the Upstream Nymphing system. All right, let's go fishing. All right, what's going on everybody? Carson here. And we are out here on the water now. The type of water that we're going to be fishing here, which particularly works with Upstream Nymphing, is very low, slow water. The water temp right now is around 65 degrees, maybe a little higher, maybe 67. Fish are definitely feeding. It's the evening, and the water flow is actually pretty good. It's actually a bit higher than I expected. So before rigging up, I like to tend to go and look at the water before I fish it. Just observing to see if there's any rises, observing if any fish are feeding with emergers or if fish are not feeding on top at all. So I'm looking right now, I see a few rises upstream, but not too many. So I'm gonna put on a confident fly right now, and I'm gonna rig it up with 6X, and the fly is gonna be something a little bit more attractive. So in these situations, fly fishermen like to use very small, subtle flies for these type of slow, calm water. But for me, I know that brown trout are mainly predators, and you can catch a lot of fish using naturals, and most of the time you will. But in some situations, you want to use something a little bit more aggressive. So something aggressive could be something as simple as a mop fly. So I'm going to use a mop fly today, and we're going to see how it goes. And I'm pretty sure this is Spring Creek. I know some people get a little skittish on me explaining where I am, but I'm just on Spring Creek. If you know where it is, just don't shout it out in the comments. But the cool thing is that when you're using upstream system, you're usually going to be fishing where no one is going to be fly fishing. So it's slow, very low water in here. There's no one on the stream, and it's Friday, so no one is fishing it. Okay, it's all mine. All right, so I'm gonna rig up. I'm gonna rig up like about 2 feet of tippet, 6X, and then I'm gonna throw a mop on. And the size weight I'm gonna be using is a 2.3 millimeter bead. And let's catch some fish. All right, we got some prime water in here. And the eagles are just going nuts. And I'm not actually even fishing really far with this leader system right now. I'm fishing pretty relatively close to me. And we just got a fish. This is a nice fish. Ooh. Nice. Oh, this is a nice brown. This is a nice brown here. Uh-huh. Now don't want to get too close to this brush here. I got 6X on, so I want to be nice and careful. And this guy was caught on the mop. Come on. Come on there, buddy. There we go. Beautiful brown. Beautiful brown. Just inhaled that mop fly. Oh my gosh. Beautiful brown. Awesome. Release this guy. Oh, sweet. So that was our first fish for today. I'm not too surprised it worked with the mop, but right now I'm just not even working too far. I mean, the leader is pretty long. I mean, the leader is not long, the tippet's long. I want to make sure that there is some good distance between me and the fly, and good distance between the leader itself when it lands on the water and the fly. And right now, it's working the charm. And we just got some fish rising up here. And I know that there's some suckers in here too. Hearing the eagles behind me, man, there is nothing like it. Oh my gosh, there's our second brown. The fish are loving the mop. Perfect brown there. Tiny little guy. Got that guy in the mop. Perfect. So right now, make some long cast now. I want to be in front of the camera. It's kind of cool with this system because I could be with you guys with the camera and I can cast some distance so I don't have to move all the time. And right now I see this rock out there in the distance, a nice structure in there. Now I'm swinging the fly like a wet fly, extending the arm. See if anything takes it. Nothing? Alright. Alright, now I'm going to start making some distance casts. There we go. And what's so fun, oh my gosh! What is that? I think that's a brown. Oh, that's a nice brown. You guys, this is Spring Creek during the summer. I mean, this fishing is so tough, but I haven't moved a foot yet. And I am hooking into fish left and right with this system. And, oh my gosh, what the heck, man? Come on, buddy. You should be coming in faster than that. These wild browns, man, they don't fool around. I'm trying to keep this away from the other fish so it doesn't scare them off. Come on, buddy. Some fragile line here. There we go. Working this guy. It's good that you keep the fish upstream from you and then work it down toward you. It's a lot easier that way. You're gonna rip off a lot of fish if they are downstream from you. And this is a very nice brown. Another very nice brown. This is probably a nice 15-inch brown. Totally inhaled the mop. Beautiful brown. Sweet. So this is the third fish. And I see, I thought it was a stick, but uh-oh, I'm all wrapped up here. There's a crane upstream from us. He's standing so still, and I'm just watching him. It's like a Bob Ross video. I'm watching him so I can imitate it too when I'm out here in the water. And these trout, man, holy smoke. Just got into another one. That is insane. And oh shoot. Okay, you guys, we are hooked up. Oh my God, it's spilling line. This is not a trout. This is a sucker. This is a sucker. This has to be a sucker. This is a sucker. Oh my gosh, you guys. If you ever get into Spring Creek, watch out for the suckers, man. They can spool some line. And this guy, he's not moving. He's literally not moving. How to get it to the reel. And the problem is I can't I could do this way, but I can't go this way because the brush is in here. I can't put my rod this way. Well, maybe a little bit. It's not quite the angle I want. And this is a nice fish. It's not even coming up. This is gonna be a while. And I don't wanna, I'm just gonna tire him out with this. I don't wanna force him to come to me because that's just definitely gonna snap the line. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is insane. This guy's been fighting me like a bonefish here. There we go. Perfect. Got him in. All right, you guys. Nice sucker fish here. Beautiful sucker. Let that guy go. Oh, gave us a splash. All right, let's catch another one. All right, let's see what else we can get in here. I probably won't even move. This is probably the only spot I'll probably stay in for this video. Depending on if I catch a fish or not more, but I guarantee I probably will. These fish, when you find suckers, you can find them all potted up, which is cool. Also, trout will be behind them, especially during when, like months like February, March, because when those sucker spawns start happening, man, the trout are gonna be all over that. All right, now I'm watching, fishing a little bit in a different spot now. Nothing there. And let's see what happens here. And nothing. Okay. So right now, so that's it pretty much. The system, the cool thing about upstream nymphing, is that it's so simple. And when you get the technique down, here's a fish. And it's off and I'm up in the tree now. Oh, now I'm back in. Oh man, I need it. So besides that, that's kind of a blooper there. Hopefully you saw that fight for a split second. This is just such a great system. I mean, I can't say this enough. Euro nymphing in this type of situation, you can float your sider easily, but man, it is so much fun fishing with this upstream nymphing system. All right, everybody, so that was a successful day on the water. We just fished a very small section of the stream. It literally fished from that blow down right over there. I'm wondering if you can see that on the camera to literally right here. But the whole point here was to show you how to set up for upstream nymphing system and how to fish with it in any local water that you have. So again, I just want to go over what I have here. I have a 10-foot 3/8 rod. Reel doesn't matter, just make sure it's nice and balanced with your rod type. And then from there, have weighted forward fly line. And then from there, make sure that you have a nice visible indicator. And from there, have a short, tiny little short. Either you have a short tapered or just a straight short 12-foot section of leader. And then from there, have a decent amount of tippet and have one of your choice flies. I got this bald eagle just talking, man. That's crazy. Hopefully you're getting this on the audio. But besides that, the favorite fly today was the mop fly. And they really enjoyed that just because of their natural instinct just to attack and get prey in the water column. And basically, that's really about it. I presented this fly just like if you're dry fly fishing practically. And I'm just watching the indicator for any subtle movement. Anything that'll hesitate the fly line, I set the hook on. And you can tell the difference between structure too, between the fish, because what happened was that the indicator would just go along downstream like this, and then also it'll just start going down or tip forward a little bit. But then when a fish took, it literally for a split second, it'll just dart forward. You know exactly, it's like having a bobber out there on the lake for panfish. They just take it. There you go, that's the system, how to set up, how to fish with it. And hopefully this video helps you out the next time you go on the water and fish with the Upstream Nymphing system. Thank you everybody for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, please leave it down in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe. I post every Saturday. And hopefully today I inspired you to use and execute this awesome system of Upstream Nymphing. And hopefully I'll catch you in the next video. Till then, I'll see everybody next time. And as always, stay fishy.